If you have a Ford Escape, Mercury Mariner, or Mazda Tribute, they're all basically the same car. From 2002 to 2011, they share a lot of the same basic components. One bad thing about these vehicles is they have an engine mount that goes bad and causes excessive engine vibration. Now if you're driving along, you pull up to a stop sign or a stop light, your foot's on the brake, your car is in gear, and you feel a lot of engine vibration, chances are you got a bad motor mount. It's not hard at all to change. If you've never changed one before, give yourself about 45 minutes to change it. I've done several of these and I can change them in about 15 minutes. I pretty much got the sockets memorized. I got a specific procedure on how to do it very quickly. I'm going to show you what the new engine mount looks like. It's this right here. And I'm going to zoom in and show you where this engine mount is. It's fairly easy to locate. It's pretty easy to change, especially since I'm going to give you a step-by-step video. I'll put a link in the description to buy these off Amazon. They're usually under 40 bucks. And like I said, about 45 minutes to change. Once you put one of these in, your engine's going to be nice and smooth, run like new again. You open your hood and you look on the left side or the passenger side. Right down there is your engine mount. It's right underneath that aluminum bracket right there. You can barely see it right under there. I'm going to point my finger to it. It's right there. So we're going to be loosening up these nuts right here, removing this piece, and then we'll be able to get our sockets down into that bolt right there. One on the back side. We'll pop this out and change it. First we need to put a jack underneath the engine and just put a little pressure on it. We don't need to jack the engine up or anything. I just want a slight pressure on it so it doesn't drop or move. If we take a look under here, I just set a bottle jack right under there. There's no pressure on it. All I did was pump it up until it touched, and that's all that I need for support. We're going to go ahead and loosen these 3 bolts, and to do that we're going to use a 15mm socket. 3 are removed. Remove this ground wire and bracket and you'll find another hidden 15mm nut to remove. Next we have an 18mm bolt underneath this air conditioning line. We can remove that one. And now with that bolt out of the way, simply lift up on this aluminum bracket and pull it out of the way. And now with that bracket out of the way, you can see this engine mount a little more clearly. So we have 3 bolts to remove. There's one right there by my finger, one right there, and then there's one right there hidden underneath the coolant tank. We'll go ahead and remove those 3. And now to remove those 3, you're going to need a 13mm socket and a long extension. Now this one that's tucked underneath your coolant tank, I use a 13mm open end wrench. It's a little tricky to get in there to get to that one. Once you get it loose, you can remove this one with your fingers. There are some air conditioning lines that are right there in the way. Just like that. And now we got to finagle this mount out. And if you kind of watch how I do it, it seems to be the best way that I figured out how to take these out. Just kind of flip it up like this. Get it up and around those bolts. Careful of these cables. And out it comes. And now with any project or any part, I just like to compare the new part going in with the old one. Make sure that it looks correct before I go any farther. The new one in, I kind of put it in, if you watch here, I'm kind of going in upside down. And then once you get down in there, flip that up, and there it is. Seems to be the easiest way to get that mount in place. Now we need to put those 3 bolts back. I like to start with the bolt that's underneath your coolant reservoir. It's right underneath these AC lines. I put this one in first just because it's the hardest one to get to. I kind of use both fingers I want to thread this in as much as I can with my fingers just because it's so hard to get the wrench in there. And I'm pretty much going to get this one snug but not too tight because I need to move it around a little bit yet to line up the other two. So right there is snug. Now we'll go ahead and line this up and put the bottom two bolts in. I'm going to go ahead and tighten these up completely. If you have a torque wrench, you can torque it to 65 foot-pounds. Otherwise, get it pretty tight. You don't have to give it a gorilla tightness, but you want them pretty tight. Alright, so now we need the aluminum bracket back on. And now go ahead and put that 18mm bolt into the mount. Don't tighten it up all the way, just get it slightly snug. And now we need to put these 15mm nuts back on. Put this one on first, and as you tighten it, you'll pull the engine up to this bracket. Now that the studs have popped up through that bracket, we'll go ahead and just get these snug. Now we want to tighten these three nuts and this bolt down when this is in the exact location we took it out of. You can see your washer marks where they were before. So you can take a pry bar like this and you can simply move this mount around just by sticking a pry down in here and getting it so that your washer lines up with the rings that are already on this mount. So we'll be putting it right back where it was. So you may have to move this around a little bit. You may have to tap it with like a rubber mallet. Now once you get all this lined up, we'll tighten all those down. Now we need to put that ground strap and this bracket back on this stud. And then last, we can tighten up this 18mm bolt. All back in place, we'll close up the hood, start the vehicle, and see if that vibration went away. We'll go ahead and start the car. Put it in reverse or drive. And I have absolutely no engine vibration. Now congratulate yourself on a project complete. Save yourself a lot of time and money by not going to a dealership, and you got a good running, smooth running car. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.